From the moment he walked onto the America's Got Talent stage, there was something undeniably magnetic about Zak Mirz. The judges sensed it, the audience felt it, and viewers at home instantly leaned forward. What made him different wasn't just that he was a magician. AGT has seen many magicians over the years. What made Zak stand out was the way he blended storytelling, suspense, humor, and heart into every performance. And today, we are taking you through all of his unforgettable AGT 2025 performances, the moments that made him a fan favorite, and the reactions that shocked even the toughest critic on the panel. Before we dive in, welcome back to another exciting episode where we highlight the most electrifying and emotional journeys across the talent world. If you love watching inspiring artists, shocking auditions, and unforgettable golden buzzer moments, then you're definitely in the right place. Make sure to subscribe, stay tuned, and let's relive the journey of Zak Mirz on AGT 2025. Zak's audition wasn't loud, flashy, or explosive. He walked onto the stage with calm confidence, dressed clean in a dark suit, holding nothing but a deck of cards. From the moment he greeted the judges, he spoke with a softness that made everyone pay attention. He explained to the judges that magic wasn't just about tricks to him, it was about storytelling, impact, and the chance to create moments that people would remember long after the show ended. The audience didn't know it yet, but they were about to witness something they'd talk about for weeks. Zak began by handing Howie a sealed envelope and asked him to hold onto it. Then he invited Simon to pick a card. Simon rolled his eyes, assuming it was a typical card trick. But just a minute later, his expression changed from playful skepticism to shock. As Zak flawlessly controlled the deck, guided Simon's choices, and narrated the journey, every move seemed impossible until the final reveal. The card Simon selected ended up inside the sealed envelope that Howie had been holding since the beginning. The camera zoomed in as Howie tore the envelope open, his jaw dropping. That moment created a wave of cheers across the auditorium. Even Simon leaned forward, pointing, astonished, asking how Zak pulled it off. Zak simply smiled, bowed gently, and thanked the judges. He earned a standing ovation from the crowd and 4 enthusiastic yeses from the judges. But that was only the beginning. Advancing to the judge cuts round, Zak knew he had to elevate his act. AGT judge cuts were always a pressure cooker. Performers had a single chance to outshine their audition, to prove that they deserved a spot in the live shows. Zak switched from cards to something more emotional this time. He took the stage with a single table, a notebook, and an antique-looking wooden box. He began telling a personal story about how magic saved him during difficult times in his childhood. He described how magic became a companion, a guide, a path toward hope. The judges listened carefully, sensing that this performance was going to be different. Zak asked Heidi to think of someone from her past who helped shape her life, someone she admired. Without saying the name out loud, she wrote it in the notebook and tore the page out. Zak then placed the paper inside the wooden box which he never touched again. With the audience fully focused, Zak guided them through a series of connected moments, objects appearing inside sealed jars, sketches turning into real photographs, and memories manifesting into physical clues. The room felt more like a movie scene than a magic act. In the final reveal, Zak asked Heidi to open the wooden box herself. Inside it was an old-style photograph of the exact person she had written down, a picture that looked aged, as though it had existed for decades. Heidi covered her face with her hands, overwhelmed. The audience erupted into applause, and even Simon, who rarely showed emotional reactions, nodded slowly, visibly impressed. The judges agreed unanimously that Zak belonged in the live shows, and he advanced with roaring support from fans. Now onto the AGT live shows, where the pressure multiplies, the stage grows, and the stakes reach new heights. Zak knew he had to present something powerful and unforgettable. For his quarterfinals performance, Zak introduced a theme that revolved around fate, choices, and the idea that nothing in life is random. As the music turned atmospheric and the lights dimmed, Zak invited Sophia to join him on stage. He displayed 6 locked metal boxes and explained that each box represented a path in life. Each box contained something different, something unpredictable. Zak handed Sophia a stack of cards with words like courage, failure, love, heartbreak, success, and destiny written on them. He instructed her to shuffle the cards, choose one blindly, and place it in her pocket without looking. After she did, Zak began opening the boxes one by one. Each box revealed items that represented the exact concepts written on the cards. A broken mirror for heartbreak, a gold medal for success, a torn letter for failure. With each reveal, the tension grew. But the final twist is what made this performance iconic. Zak asked Sophia to finally reveal the card in her pocket. She pulled it out. Destiny. He then opened the last locked box. Inside was a handwritten note. Sophia read it aloud. It said, "Your destiny was chosen long before the first box opened." The audience exploded with applause. Even Simon stood up, clapping. No one expected a performance so intricately layered, so suspenseful, yet so simple and philosophical. When the results came in, Zak received enough votes to move forward to the semifinals. For the semifinals, Zak took a bold risk. Up until then, his magic had been intimate, emotional, and story-driven. But for this round, he wanted to involve the entire audience. His set included a massive board, thousands of lights, and a digital display that seemed to pulse with energy. Zak told the audience that tonight's performance was about the power of collective thought. He invited the crowd, the people watching at home, and all 4 judges to participate. Each judge wrote a random number, a city name, and an object on separate cards. Zak collected them but never looked at a single one. Turning to the audience, he instructed everyone to think about something meaningful, a memory, a date, an important person. Then he gestured toward the digital board behind him. Suddenly, lights began forming patterns, shapes, and numbers. The board displayed thousands of flickering points, slowly aligning into a map of the world. Then came the shocker. The map zoomed into the exact city Heidi had written. A moment later, the object Sophia wrote appeared in glowing lights beside it. Then the number Howie wrote pulsed on the screen. Fans screamed in disbelief. Zak then asked Simon to reach into a sealed envelope taped under his desk. Inside it was a small piece of paper with a message that simply read, "This moment was created by all of you." Simon lifted the paper slowly, looking both impressed and baffled. With a thunderous standing ovation, Zak advanced to the finals. Now, the finals performance. The biggest night of his life. Zak walked onto a smoky, dimly lit stage with the confidence of someone who had earned his place. The audience cheered wildly. All eyes were locked on him. Zak began by holding a blank book, explaining that the greatest stories in life are the ones we write ourselves. He opened the book and flipped through the empty pages, letting the audience clearly see that nothing was written. He placed the book on the table and asked Simon to name any word. Not prepared, Simon paused before saying, "Hope." Zak smiled, nodded, and then asked the other judges to each choose words too. Heidi chose peace. Sophia chose truth. Howie chose miracles. Zak wrote nothing down, he simply held the audience in suspense. Then, with a sudden flick, the blank book burst into bright white flames. Gasps filled the room. When the flames vanished, Zak opened the book again. This time, every page was filled with handwritten text. Not random text, but a full story about hope, peace, truth, and miracles. The exact words the judges chose were beautifully woven into the narrative. The audience was in disbelief, cheering louder than ever. But Zak wasn't done. For his final twist, he turned the book toward the audience, and the pages transformed into live projections that floated above the stage. The room fell silent, witnessing a surreal combination of technology and magic. The glowing projections then formed into a silhouette of Zak standing on the stage. It bowed in sync with him. The crowd went insane, screaming while holding their phones up, trying to record every second. Simon leaned forward, speechless, muttering to himself before saying aloud, "You are a true artist." That reaction alone set social media on fire. As the finale results approached, fans flooded social platforms with messages, videos, and emotional posts celebrating Zak's brilliance. Whether he won or not, one thing was clear: Zak Mirz delivered one of the most memorable magician journeys in AGT history. His blend of emotion, simplicity, technology, storytelling, and illusion made him stand out in a season filled with extraordinary talent. Zak Mirz's AGT 2025 run wasn't just about tricks. It was about reminding people that magic is more than deception. It's about connection, meaning, and wonder. Every performance carried a message. Every reveal sparked conversation, and every moment left a lasting impact. From his breathtaking audition to his electrifying finale, Zak proved one thing again and again: magic is not about what you see. It's about what you feel. And fans felt everything. Whether you watched him live, online, or here through this journey, his performances were a reminder that storytelling mixed with illusion can create moments powerful enough to stay with us forever. Zak may have been just one contestant among thousands, but his artistry made him unforgettable. Thank you for joining us today as we revisited the magical journey of Zak Mirz on AGT 2025. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want more full performance breakdowns, emotional artist journeys, and powerful AGT moments, make sure to follow along for more videos like this. Zak's story reminds us that sometimes the greatest magic isn't on stage, it's in the hearts of those who dare to dream.